Hello, we are the Lakeshore Creatives, and my name is Brennan, and on behalf of our group, we welcome you to our pitch for the Ignite Your Future competition. Our main vision is to see Humber students gain access to high-quality jobs in the most convenient way possible, and for employers to prioritize Humber students when creating their hiring plan. It is key for us that we are putting Humber students at the top of the list and making sure they are getting the absolute best treatment possible. Now, what is the problem exactly? Students have difficulties in time search and work integrated learning experience, and job searching is often a full-time job in itself. Deteriorating grades and mental health as a result of the stress of job finding while being a full-time student is prominent. Stress can also be caused by working two jobs, as well as international students need a place to simplify job seeking in another country, as trying to find a job when you're coming from a different country can often be a challenge. Students also need high quality jobs where they can gain actual real experience and earn a livable pay. And lastly, students are in general stressed about paying for school, so making sure they have something set up is key. Now that we're aware of the problem, let's look at the solution. For one, we need to make sure that we are increasing the amount of networking that we're doing, whether that be through Humber, Ignite, at your job, what have you. Networking is absolutely a key thing that you want to make sure you are doing and able to help benefit yourself further down the line. Another key thing we're looking at is knowledge. Knowledge is one of the most important and underrated aspects of this all. Making sure students are aware of the support and making sure they know exactly what to do, where to do it, and who to talk to is extremely important in making sure students are set up for the workplace. Lastly, to go with that, we want to make sure we are supporting them every step of the way. Now let's look at Humber's job search portal and how we can improve it. First of all, we want to encourage employers to make their job posting programs more specific. We also want to make sure we're separating Humber students from Humber alumni to avoid any confusion, to make sure the students are getting exactly what they want. We will also be requiring employers to respond to certain student applications within a set time period to ensure that they at least see a response. We also want to make sure we are being user-friendly in the emails and text alerts. We also are going to be creating orientations and tutorials on how to find a job across multiple platforms. And lastly, we want to make sure we are getting better use out of the Humber Careers social media account to highlight more opportunities for students. Overall, this will encourage employers to seek the best student for their position and allow employers to be familiar with certain programs. Now, let's look at some of our competitors. So some direct competitors include Indeed, LinkedIn, Google Jobs, Glassdoor, Canadian Job Brand, and various others we can see in this photo. Some more student-specific job boards that specifically cater to getting students jobs after graduation can also include Talent Egg and Canada's Top 100. We'll also need to be aware of other post-secondary schools with similar sites. So now, let's shift our focus to the competitive advantage. Regarding to the student, it gains us access to jobs that usually hire Humber alumni, access to jobs not posted to the general public, specific department recommendations, perks from attending Humber College itself, and a higher chance of being successful in a job position. Shifting over to a competitive advantage to employer can include recommendations from professors and other students. Employers generally know what to expect when they're hiring from a undergrad as well. And a pool of qualified students with workplace experience. Many applications from one site instead of posting on multiple sites. And lastly, Toronto-based applicants. Lastly, let's meet the team. We have Nick on the left, who's a market research specialist, Christine, who's the legal assistant, myself, who is a second-year fashion management student, as well as Elizabeth, who's a research specialist and consultant, and lastly, Emily, who is also a research specialist and consultant. That concludes our pitch and presentation.